Keeping your heating and air conditioning system maintained is extremely important. And I brought an expert in, the Attic Man himself, Mario Lopez, here to Check a Pro Radio to talk about that. And a question's come in specifically about this. I'm going to have him answer it. Mario, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, Jim. How are you?
I am living the dream. Okay, so questions come in. This is a common question, and a lot of people don't want to ask it, nor do they want to hear the answer because they really don't want to do anything. And that is, how often as a homeowner should I have my air conditioning and heating system serviced? I think I know the answer. What is the answer? Is it standard or does it depend?
You know, I think it does depend a little bit on where you're located and your
Mm,
seasonalities. The general answer that will fit for most circumstances would be every 6 months, because every 6 months in most places you have season changes, right? I'm located in Sacramento. We have very intense season changes here. It gets cold in the winter. It'll get down to in the low 30s, right? Doesn't snow, but it gets cold enough where you have to run that heater to stay comfortable.
yeah.
And then it gets really hot in the summer. We're in the valley, so we'll have 105, 110 last year. I think we even hit 115 one day, and it gets really hot. And your heating and air system, it can do two things. It can cool the home and then it can heat the home. So if you're going 6 months of running that air conditioner, or even 3 or 4 months, and then that air conditioner shuts off and it sits there stagnant for the next 6, 7, 8 months while your heater's running, you want to have that air conditioner looked at, right? What did it go through last summer? All that work it put in keeping the house cool. Is there anything that needs to be addressed to make sure it's ready for the next summer? And then vice versa on your heater. What did it go through during that winter to keep the house warm? And what is it going to go through this next winter, and is it ready? So every 6 months is a great answer for that. I usually recommend having the air conditioner checked out before summer, make sure it's ready. And then 6 months later, have the furnace or the heater checked out, make sure it's ready.
And I agree with that. Regardless of where you are in the country, I always say spring and fall. Whatever your spring and fall is, it's kind of like what they say about replacing your batteries once a year in your smoke detectors. They generally say on January 1st because it's just the beginning of the year, but it really wouldn't matter. You should check your smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors once a year, and probably change the batteries just so they're fresh. You don't have to worry about it. I say the same thing. Same thing with getting your car maintained, going to the doctor for an annual checkup. That would be like once a year. A lot of people go to the dentist twice a year for a cleaning and checkup, and it really doesn't matter so much. But personally, for me, I want it done before the heat of the summer. So I want it done in the spring. And then after the summer's over, it's run pretty hard, the air conditioning. I wanna make sure that my furnace, my heating system is ready for the winter.
Yeah, and I think 99% of potential breakdown problems can be found and addressed during a maintenance visit ahead of time. You don't want to have your air conditioner looked at in the middle of summer when it's working its absolute hardest, right? You want to make sure it's prepped and ready to go. So, if you know that where you live, hey, it's going to get above 85 degrees around this time of year, just make sure, like you said, in the springtime, call, and a lot of companies run specials and maintenances because that's the time of year to do it. Take advantage of that. Have someone come out and do a full run through and check of that system to make sure you're ready. Because if you find something ahead of time and it's just a few $100s to address it now, well, you could potentially be saving yourself a $1,500 breakdown and a major inconvenience on a 100-degree day when your system should be working.
Mario, I'll tell you when it's really expensive. On July 4th at 6 p.m., it's hot, it's a holiday. The air conditioning companies are busy, and it's a holiday, which means many companies are gonna charge more because it's a holiday. Plus, you have a house full of people. And so if you can ahead of time, like you said, it makes so much sense. Ahead of time, maintain it, clean it, run it, make sure it's running well. It's less likely to break down at any point in time soon until the next 6 months, and then you take a look at it again. So it makes sense to your point. When you guys hook up the gauges, you might see the refrigerants a little low. And you might say, we don't know if there's a leak or not, maybe somewhere because it generally doesn't leak, but why don't we just put a little more in? And we're going to get you through the summer most likely, unless there's some kind of major, breakdown. And so now they're going to run more efficiently and probably get through that season. And it just makes sense because you don't want to do it on July 4th at 6 p.m.
Right. And, and there's no risk, depending on which company you choose. For example, we have a guarantee where if we come out and we do a maintenance on your system pre-summer, and then you do have a problem or a breakdown, not only will you be made a priority, which is very important because, like you said, in the summertime, the phones are ringing like crazy. We have tons of people calling us, especially on holidays. But if you had a maintenance done by AtticMan, we'll make you a priority. We'll come out there, we'll address the problem, get you repaired up and running, and we'll refund you whatever you paid for that maintenance before, because obviously something was missed, right? And we are humans. Sometimes our guys do make mistakes. It occurs. And if that happens, you not only will you be reimbursed, but we'll address and find that repair and get you all up and running again. So, there's really no reason not to do it. It's super low risk. It's beneficial to you in so many ways. And nobody wants the air conditioner to break down on the 4th of July. And I'll tell you, every single year, the 4th of July is one of our busiest days of the year. Everybody's home, they're on vacation, they're pumping that air conditioner, it's hot. And if it goes out, trust me, you're going to want service immediately. So, very, very important.
Yeah. And I love your policy. Um, we were there. Maybe we missed something. So we're going to, take care of what we charged you before and get you up and running today. So don't worry about it. So that's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's like having your car checked up. You could
Mm.
you could take your car to 2, 3, 4 shops. They tell you everything's good, and a week later, something could go wrong. That occurs. That happens, and maybe it is the mechanic's fault. Maybe he missed something. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe at the time of the checkup, everything did check out, and now there was an issue. But either way, we're going to take care of you on the back end on that. So you're covered on that, and you don't have to worry.
Yeah, fantastic. As always, Mr. Attic Man, Mario Lopez, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim. See you next time.